Hello friends, thank you so much for stopping by the channel and welcome back to season 2 episode 2 of the summer vacation sewing series. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel. My name is Talisha and I also go by CreativiTeeByT, and for today's video I am super excited to announce what I made for episode number 2 of the Sewing Vacation Sewing series. If you do not know anything about this series, this is a series that I have on my channel as well as Cherie of Cherie Thomas, because we are doing this series in collaboration with each other. But this is a series where we showcase 4 different items each that we find essential to take on a vacation. So Cherie will be making a total of 4 garments and items, and I will as well. And we do this each week on Sundays, with the last Sunday being the start of the series, and we will take it through the last Sunday of this August. And like I said, we'll both showcase a different garment on those Sundays that are classy yet comfortable and stylish pieces that would be perfect for your future summer vacation, even a winter vacation if you're going somewhere warm. And we will also provide a detailed pattern review. So if you need some inspiration for your next summer sewing project, or just simply want to follow along to see what we have made and what we are going to wear on our vacations, please watch both of our videos each Sunday. I promise that you will be inspired, and I will link to Cherie's channel in the description box below, along with a playlist that will have both of our videos from each showing. All right, so as we kicked off season 2 of the Summer Vacation Sewing series, Cherie and I both made essential summer dresses on last week, and this week we both made jumpsuits, but not just any jumpsuit, but a beach jumpsuit. And if you have been watching my channel for some time, you already know that I was perfectly fine with that choice of garment, because I love a jumpsuit. Even with the issues of getting out quickly when you need to use the restroom, I still love a jumpsuit. So if you want to know a little bit more about a jumpsuit is a garment incorporating trousers and a top in one piece, and it is worn as a fashion garment, or it can be worn as a protective garment or a uniform. A beach jumpsuit serves the same purpose, but it is always loose fitting so that it can be easily slipped on to cover your bathing suit, to make you feel covered but yet comfortable while out on the beach. I had the most difficult time deciding on which pattern to pick from. From the beginning, I had this one particular pattern in mind, and just that one. I wasn't even being flexible, but the fabric that I have in my stash that I wanted to use wouldn't work out with that pattern, and I didn't want to go out and buy any more fabric because I have enough for everybody, okay? And I really want to use what I have. So what I decided to do was shop my pattern stash instead, and you know, because I don't always know everything that I have, and I don't have everything documented the way I should, so I went through my bins and shopped my pattern stash to match the fabric. You know, I wanted to pick out a pattern that I felt like would match better with the fabric, and that, you know, like I said, was already in my stash. And at the last minute, this pattern right here is the jumpsuit that I decided to make, and I feel that this fabric with the stripes and the different shapes of the design of the garment worked out absolutely perfect with this jumpsuit, and it has the perfect coverage that I needed it for it to be the perfect beach jumpsuit for a summer vacation. So let's go ahead and get into the details of this pattern. So this here, as you would find it, is a McCall's 8165, but my pattern says McCall's 7598. I think you'll see it right here. The reason why my pattern number is different is because I actually made this pattern before in 2017, and to be honest, that is when I started sewing. So you could imagine the differences that I had making it this time versus the time before. Yes, 2017 is when I first started sewing. I did such a terrible job with the fabric choice and the fit back then, so it was so nice to go ahead and sew this up and gain confidence, you know, by seeing how much better I am and how the fit is as perfect as I would have liked it to be back then. So the pattern description is Mrs. Dresses and jumpsuits, and it also goes on to say that it is very loose fitting and it's pullover dresses and step into jumpsuits that have length and sleeve variations. There are 4 views to this pattern. 3 views are for the dresses and 1 is for the jumpsuit. The fabric recommendations are going to be your crepes, gauze, knits, and border knits. The skill level is not rated, but my guess is that it will be considered average, or I mean, they may have even put easy because there's no closures, you know, to this, but I would think average only because of like maybe adding the trim and things like that, but you know, it is easy. For the pattern pieces, I use four pattern pieces to make this jumpsuit, and I did use 1 additional pattern piece, which was to cut out pockets because I did not want to forget. I didn't want to forget to add pockets, and I just put regular inseam pockets on, and I used a pocket pattern piece from a different pattern. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. The one I prefer to use I can't find because those are nice and deep, but these worked out okay. For your notions, I needed to have 3 3/4 yards of 3/4 inch trim and 3/4 yards of 1/2 inch elastic and thread. Now, I didn't have any trim to match this, and I didn't think the store would either. I did check out like Hobby Lobby and Joann Fabrics after I made this to see if they even had the trim, and they did not have anything that would have worked out. So I made my own with the same fabric because I knew that they probably wouldn't have anything in this orange here. This is the jumpsuit behind me, if you did not know that. So yes, I made my own trim with my own fabric because of that, and I also thought that the play with the stripes would be eye-catching, you know, and I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by that. Excuse it for being a little wrinkled because I wore it yesterday, and I wanted to show you this without just having to keep jumping up in the camera. So anyway, this is the trim here. So you're supposed to put trim all around the front. You can kind of see on the models in the blue how her trim is all the way around her. And so that's what the idea of this is right here. And I just thought that this play on the stripes, you know, around the armhole in the front V was absolutely adorable. Kind of broke up the fact that these stripes right here are going horizontal, you know, and these are going at an angle. So yeah, thought that was super cute. And as far as for the elastic, it calls for 3/4, and you're going to put that at the ankle to kind of like get this effect here that the model has. And I didn't style mine the way this is, but it does look like that now, and I'll show you. But I used 1 inch elastic because I just like to round off the measurements sometimes to make it easier. I didn't want to measure out 3/4 on when I was hemming it. So I'll show you what that looks like here. So this is my pant leg and my casing here. And just a tip, whenever you're doing like putting elastic and things in casing, just always remember to use a non-roll elastic so that it doesn't flip up when you're wearing it and washing it. Okay, so for the pattern sizing comes in size 6 through 22, and the size I cut was a size 16. I was super shocked because I haven't seen that size cut for me in a long time. When I made this in 2017, I obviously didn't know about finish measurements and using the finish measurements to get a particular look, which is the look I like, a more form-fitting, or not necessarily form-fitting, but not like extremely baggy. Because the size that I cut back then was a size 18, and I was like 40 pounds lighter back then. When I look at the finished measurements when I was making it this time, the bust for size 16 is 45.5 inches, and I'm currently measuring at 45 inches even in the bust. And I think back then my bust was like, I don't know, it could have been a 38 or 43, something like that. But yeah, there's a big difference then. So I had no clue about the finished measurements for garments. The waist is extremely forgiving even now with me sizing down. So it was super oversized back then, and in the waist and even in the hips, very, very saggy in the butt, but it still is saggy in the butt now because that's kind of like the design of it. I definitely learned, like, over time with my sewing, how to make sure that I'm getting the right fits. I truly appreciated being able to see those 3 body measurements, which was the bust, hips, and the waist. It is printed on the pattern pieces. It's printed on the front pattern piece. So if you do decide to make this pattern, all of the finished measurements are there. And yeah, and because of that, I have the desired look that I wanted back in 2017. Does it look like the photo drawing on the pattern? Yes, it does. When I put the pant leg down, like I said, I didn't style mine the way that the models are styled. I pulled the pant leg up in most of my photos. I think maybe in all of the photos because of the shoes that I was wearing. But when I pull the pant leg down, it does look like that, and my pants legs do go down to my ankle like the models does, but it doesn't have like that little droop that hers has because I didn't want that. And this is the droop that I'm talking about. Like, here's like a little bit of a sag right here where her fabric kind of droops over, and mine is just like a straight leg with the elastic. And so, like I said, that's the look I wanted. I didn't want that extra fabric drooping down like that. And the reason why my V on my pictures is not as deep as the models, like it doesn't go, mine doesn't go all the way down to like where hers does, is because I didn't want my armholes hanging too low. And so I tied my ties tighter to make sure that my jumpsuit was pulled up higher to my neck so that that would not happen. So that's the only reason why I could make mine be as low as hers, but I didn't want that. And you can do the same. It's just adjusting your garment for your desired look. But yes, for the most part, my jumpsuit does look like the models. The instructions were very easy to follow, no hiccups whatsoever. What I particularly liked about the pattern, I love the style of it overall. I think it's chic, cute. The relaxed fit is just great for what I'm looking for, or even regular everyday. You know, I wore it around all the day yesterday, and you know, I just love it. Perfect for the beach, you know, perfect for the beach and for a cover up. What did I dislike about it? Nothing at all. It's fine the way it is. I didn't learn any new techniques, but did I have a first time experience? Maybe yes and no. This is my first time making what is named a trim and stitching it down the way that I did on the garment. I have made like bias binding and things like that before, but you apply that differently. With this trim, I just, you know, made it, you know, cut out like 3 5/8 yards of the fabric and stitched it together. And I just stitched this directly on top. Just stitched it directly on top. So it's not stitched down like bias binding. This was one piece, and I just pinned it and stitched it down. I think I got my V pretty well. That was a first time experience. The first time I made it, I purchased trim. But it is a cost saver because trim is not cheap. This fabric, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Would you believe this is considered Ankara fabric. I purchased this from Afrique clothing store, and it had all of the Ankara labels on there and everything. The only thing it didn't have was a lot of the writing that the Dutch puts on the selvage. That wasn't there. So if the Ankara stickers weren't there, and if I didn't purchase this from an Ankara vendor, I would not have guessed that this was Ankara fabric. It just seems like regular cotton fabric. However, I did buy it from Afrique clothing store, and it did have all the labels. So as far as alterations, the only alteration I did make was I added the pockets to this garment. There was just no way that I was going to make an everyday type of jumpsuit or cover up and not add pockets, you know, especially being out on the beach. You don't want to carry a purse and things like that. You might have your beach bag, but you might, you know, may have something that you just don't want to put in your beach bag because somebody could come and whip it away if they wanted to. So yeah, I did add pockets for that reason. And what I did as far as like adding the pocket, I just measured down 1.5 inches below the waistline. That's actually on the pattern piece, and I marked it on my jumpsuit, and I placed the pockets that I cut out on the very top of the pocket on that line, and that's, you know, I just stitched them down, and that's how I got the pocket. You could do the same if you make this and you desire pockets. And as far as any modification recommendations, if you decide to make this dress and you're a pocket person too, which most people that sew are, go ahead and add them. But if you don't really care about pockets, it's good either way. It doesn't make or break it. Would I recommend this to others? Absolutely yes. I kept this pattern for a reason. This is the original pattern. Like I said, I cut out an 18, so I did have to cut down to a 16 while making it this time because of the new knowledge that I have. But like I said, I kept it for a reason, because even though I felt like it was big and oversized, I figured, well, you know, I'll make it again later, make some adjustments, and that's what I did. So absolutely yes. This pattern came out in 2017 when I made it the first time, and like I said, it was McCall's 7598, and then it was reissued later as McCall's 8165 or hashtag Carmen McCall's. I don't know when it was reissued because I don't have the reissued pattern with the date on there, and when I went to Joann's, I forgot to look on one of their patterns that's in their drawer. So, but it is still out because it is available on the Simplicity website, and you can also purchase it at your local Joann's and or Hobby Lobby. So it's still there. For whatever reason, it must have did well because it was reissued. So for my parents, I paired my jumpsuit with my orange lace-up heels. I did purchase those from Amazon, and I had a gold necklace on that I believe I had purchased from Target or somewhere like that. And yeah, I just thought the outfit came completely just completely together really, really good. And so I will go ahead and enter a few more pictures and twirls of me in my beach jumpsuit. So yes, I really love this jumpsuit. I have a love for jumpsuits, and this one certainly did not disappoint. And I think it's so super cute and playful with these stripes. I didn't really know what I was going to make with these stripes, and I'm so glad that I found the pattern for it. And I do have 3 yards left, and I think I'm going to make a blazer with it, so we will see. So let me know what your thoughts are about this pattern and my jumpsuit in the comment section below. You know I love to hear your thoughts. I am getting ready to end this video, but if you enjoyed this video, please take a pause for the cause and click the like button and the subscribe button and the gray notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. And please make sure that you head over to Cherie's channel to check out her summer jumpsuit because I am sure it is absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!